in the United States this month. So this came across my desk today, Sally, a couple of hours ago. And as you know, I can't say any names, but I do know people that work at the New York Stock Exchange, and I gave it to them. It was like, what's going on here? What's up with Solana getting an ETF, being listed in the stock market? Because I was thinking, hey, we're gonna have a Litecoin ETF because a couple weeks ago they said Litecoin ETF first, and what they told me was they can't say too much. And this is a quote, by the way. I can't say too much, but you're on the right track. End quote. So talk to me, brother. What do you think of Solana ETFs? We have Bitcoin ETFs in America. We have Litecoin ETFs in America. Sorry, Bitcoin, Ethereum ETFs in America on the stock market. Pretty soon, Europe is going to have Bitcoin ETPs, exchange traded products in Switzerland. And just what is your
GP.
general vibe? It's an ETF, but for Europe. I'm not sure what England does
Okay.
because England is separate from the rest of the European continent. But
Mm.
ETPs in Switzerland. So in the European continent, you're going to have it on the stock market. Basically, what you're going to see pretty soon, like in the next month or so, is in the
Mm.
U.S. in New York City, the stock markets. You're going to see Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. You go to Europe on the stock market, you're going to see Bitcoin. How do you feel about the general market right now? And how do you feel about all this news coming in left and right?
Um, so with the Bitcoin, I mean, with the crypto market right now, it's I mean, I was quite busy the past few days, so I didn't get a chance to see the performance of the charts.
That's probably a good thing to be honest with you because a lot of people that have been seeing opening their accounts have been apparently there's certain people contemplating suicide. Uh,
Oh well,
obviously, yeah. I don't think it's that serious, but you can look
mm.
at them
But
now.
they feel like doing
Obviously,
it basically, yeah.
yeah. So what do you think though? Because let's be honest, it's a downtime. Like there's more and more content creators. Like mid this week, I noticed that there were a lot of YouTubers that just came back out of nowhere. Like, yeah, February, we're about to bounce back, and now in the past 48 hours, it kind of died down since the market has been basically like what I said a couple days ago, in a Mexican standoff. The buyers and the sellers don't know who's going to shoot first. They just wait and see what the other does.
Yeah. So what's that last bit? The Biden standoff.
Mexican, Mexico, the U.S.
Yeah.
In old Western movies, we used to have this thing. You don't watch my short. Basically, you have like the two guys in the Wild West. They basically be
Oh
looking
yeah,
at each
one
other.
person's got a gun, standing.
Both
Yeah,
no,
they're
both of
trying
them
to
have a
shoot each
gun.
other. Yeah.
They're basically both of them are trying to see what the other one does. Hey Kate, Hurst, how you doing? They're both basically waiting to see what the other person does before they shoot. So basically, the buyers, the
Yeah.
sellers, the longs, the shorts, the bears, the bulls, basically are in a Mexican standoff, waiting to see what the other one does so they can react.
Oh,
What's
okay.
your perspective?
Um, that's understandable. Yeah. So that's essentially what's going on then, in that sense, really. Oh yeah. Hi there, Kate. But yeah, in that sense, then it basically is like a standoff. You just want to see how you'd essentially react, and then the one that gives in first is the one that loses out. So it's just a test of that mental endurance, really, where they're trying to see how the retail holders are going to react with everything dumping. But it's not going to dump long term. It's just a way to sort of test the waters, really. That's what I believe that's happening.
Okay, so what do you think is going to happen the next few weeks? Because this is how I see it playing out. Everybody was excited. Yay! You know how what they say when everybody's bullish, be bearish, and everybody's bearish, be bullish. So everybody was like, UTC, we made it past January. Bitcoin is over $100,000 a token or a coin or whatever, and things are going to go to the moon. February 1st, crash. And let's be honest, the crash they try to say that it was due to the tariffs in Canada and Mexico, right? However, if you look deeper into it, this happened before in 2020, the exact same time, right? The first week in February, crash. That was 2020 was COVID. Same thing happened in 2023, crash. FTX. So is this market manipulation in your perspective, or is this coordinated finance manipulation? And should people go to prison, and why?
Yeah, so I'd say in this case it's just market manipulation. It's just like I was saying with the part about people testing the waters, especially with the institutions. Um, yeah, I do believe it still has its potential to grow. But obviously, there is the common phrase by Crypto University where he says, "Buy the rumor, sell the news." Obviously, that's kind of like what they're doing there at the moment. But I do believe, there is still potential for the crypto to grow. I'm not really gonna sell at the moment at all until once I believe that cryptos are completely dumped, then obviously that's when you want to sort of want to get out, because that's when
Clarify.
the
So you're
altcoins
basically
go down.
you're waiting for everybody to dump on you, and then you're gonna get out.
No, actually, sorry, not dump. My bad. What I was trying to say was obviously I have a set target of where I want to reach for it. Once it reaches that target, then I'd be getting out. But obviously, so in my case, I have the mindset of unless I'm walking out with the profits, there's no point in me selling. That's how I see it as really.
Okay, so we've had a lot of situations, a lot of podcasts in the past week or so that have been saying that we're not going to have an altcoin season because of the fact that they believe we have a dilution in the crypto market. Basically, we have millions, right? Now, today we have the news that yay, Kanye West has been going crazy on Twitter all day, and he said that he's going to release a meme coin pretty soon. And Dave Portnoy from Saturdays for the Boys, that the whole Barstool Sports, they're releasing meme coins. Do you think that this is the altcoin season? It's meme coin mania. Or do you think there's an actual altcoin season for utility coming soon? And what is your perspective on everything and why?
Yeah. So in my opinion, at first it'll be the altcoin season, and then once things have like slowly like died off, it'll then move on to the utility tokens. And once like the utility tokens are done, then you'll be having the RWAs, which is part of it as well. But then like the GameFi, because GameFi is still one of them that's still going to be
GameFi,
popular.
or like Sui,
What's that?
Sui, SUI, Japanese Sui.
Yeah. So
That's
that
GameFi.
one.
They have a little computer. They have like a little Nintendo Wii thing. So you're into that kind of thing?
Um, yeah, well, I actually bought it because it's one of them that I was part of like a private Discord group, Morales Money. They mentioned a Sui token. I did a bit of research. Oh, this looks quite good. So I decided to like buy it, and it's just very easy to get on Coinbase. So that's where I bought some of it. But generally speaking, I like the project in general, so that's what I
Why do you like the
bought
project?
into. It's to do more of it's like the performance really, and and I believe it's one of those that will grow further, and it has obviously like pumped quite a bit as well.
Well, I would say it's a team because let's be honest, what happened? I'm not sure if you're familiar with the whole situation with the team. I'm on a lot of their spaces. By the way, we have a space today, 8:30 for some of the crew. We have Fireside Fridays where we go on X and we go live. I think you might be asleep though because they'll be like 2 in the morning in the UK. But anyway, it's a Facebook team. I'm not sure if you know about Google, Microsoft, Elon Musk through several entities, and I believe even like maybe Nvidia to a certain extent. They basically poured billions and billions of dollars into research, and that team took all that. And when they found out that Facebook couldn't do it because of regulations, they basically made their own product. They found the best in labs, and they're like, "Listen, let's take all the research that we got through these billions of dollars that we funneled to all these organizations, and let's build a product on our own."
Yeah.
And something that they're doing besides we can go back to GameFi, but one thing that I find very very interesting is this: that I'm not a tech guy, and they basically have found a way for basically me and you. You live in England, right? I live in the U.S. and my brother, who's 20 feet away from me, I can send you money through SMS, text message, without knowing
Yeah.
anything about blockchain technology at all. What is your opinion on that? You think that's
So
a
send
good reason
money.
for it? Like money, like I want to send you 10 quid. You guys say quid, right? That's how you say pounds.
Yeah.
Like we say bucks, dollars. I want to send you 10 quid to the UK right now. I'm in the US. I don't have quid. I have dollars. I have $10. I want to send you money. I can send you the
Yeah.
equivalent in US dollars to you. $10, let's say it's $10 or it's $12, right? Because it's like a little bit of you
Yeah.
got the pound is a bit stronger than the US dollar. So I send you $12 and you get 10 quid. Literally in seconds that it takes in the text message. I can send you money. Neither of us has to know anything about blockchain.
Yeah. I mean, the more simplified the system is, like the more users will want to use it. I mean, and actually use it in there. day-to-day lives. So in that sort of case, if it is something as good as just using a text message to apply a service, or even just through an app, the more user friendly it is, the better the project in general. And obviously, if you have a good team that's willing to support it, like over time, and yeah, in general with like improving the services, and it's something that has like its potential as a project in general.
Definitely. So, with regards to Web 2 and Web 3, obviously, you know what Web 2 is, right? Web 2 is basically like Facebook. Basically, we create content, but we don't, besides TikTok, if you make that kind of content, you can monetize there, or an Instagram, somebody can sponsor you. But Web 2 is mostly about the company making money. And Web 3, I realize that it's more like natural between two people, commerce. This is my understanding. I'm gonna try to keep this as simple as possible. In Web 2, if there's characters in a game, right? I purchase certain products, right? I use the internet money. Not everybody makes money for that. However, with Web 3 and NFTs, what you can actually do is when we can actually use, like, let's say USDT or Bitcoin to buy products off of each other or buy them in the game, and we own them. Like, this is our actual property in Web3. Do you think that's an avenue that they can actually use for GameFi and to actually like help blockchains like Solana and Sui? Basically, with gamers, like you're saying,
Um,
basically that's what you think the next phase is GameFi, right? Of the blockchain space, because that has a lot of people that are young and would be interested in owning. Let's say you buy a hammer on, I haven't played games in a while, and Halo,
mm,
and instead of you buying it with fake internet money, you actually put it into your wallet when you buy it, and now it's an NFT that you actually own in the real world as well, and you can actually trade it with other people,
yeah.
even if you're not in the game. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd say it's a good possibility, but obviously with GameFi, there's another token. I mean, another like category which will grow with it as well, which is the AI tokens, because they some for some reason they seem to have like a similar system in as aspects of like
You
them
mean
owning
AI? You mean
like a
specifically
similar.
AI? Just so we're on the same page. AI agents like that have their own, like they have incentives themselves for
Yeah,
you to want
AI
to
agents. Yeah.
send them cryptocurrency for whatever reason, or you mean some like another aspect that I'm not getting.
Yeah, so AI agents is what I'm referring to. Yeah, so AI agents and GameFi, it'll probably be like the last thing that sort of like it gets its highest like hype with this tokens.
You mean HIPE?
Say that again.
What do you mean? What project is that? A project that you
Um,
just mentioned?
no. I meant by just in general with like AI agents. So the projects themselves, like the AI tokens. Um, I said like once people have like moved on from like meme coins, they're moving on to like real world assets or utility tokens. Then it moved to AI and GameFi tokens. That's what I'm
So
trying to
you
say.
think that the progression right now is first meme coin mania, then
Yeah,
it's going to be RWAs.
yeah.
What are
RWAs
RWAs?
and
And what kind of
utility.
RWAs and how would that work?
Um, That's a good question. So for me, it's more to do with like utility tokens and like the ones that are like, for example, well, I mean, with the RWAs, that could be to do with things like property, but obviously that's something quite far away from for some tokens. But I mean by like general utility ones, like ones that are like solving like real world problems. That's what I mean by for RWAs in the aspect of
Like for
things.
yeah, for example, what's a real world problem that you think is helpful? Because you're the one that's saying that specifically you're going to go from meme coin mania to RWAs and then GameFi. So what is the GameFi? I understand. Obviously, GTA 6 is coming out later this year, and they already
Mm,
said that they're going to be using cryptocurrency. They're going to be integrating NFT technology so people can own things. That excites people, right? I'm not a video
mm,
game player, but I know a lot of people that do like video games, and I know a lot of people that that it would incentivize them to actually want to use cryptocurrency in that way, right? But
of course.
RWA, is that something for retail? Is that something for me and you, or something for big banks? But what's going on with the real world assets? Why would you tokenize something if you don't need to tokenize it, right?
Yeah, so for me, I'd say those are more for like the bigger institutions. They're the ones that are like investing in the RWAs, like, the ones that are more like the boring tokens that's just per se. Like for example, a goldfinch. There's I wouldn't say XRP. I would say something like goldfinch, maybe 1 inch as a potential. Um, but although 1 inch
All
is
right,
quite
that's a
an
dinosaur.
interesting
But
one, though.
that's a dinosaur, by the way. But go ahead. That's an old
Yeah,
school one. But go ahead.
mm. Yeah. So
I'm
that
about to,
one.
I'm about to do something real old school when you finish your thought at you right now. Back to the Future, the movie. But go ahead, keep continue.
Yeah. So there's a thing like that. I'd have to obviously look back on the other tokens that I've like I had before, but there's things like that. So there's sometimes these like these trading tokens as well, which are like decentralized finance ones, and not that DeFi. There's quite a few other ones as well, and just in general. But obviously, I'd have to look on Coin Market Cap for the categories for it.
That's fine. You don't have to do that. Listen,
Yeah.
I know Finance has had a conference yesterday, by the way, and they've been talking. One of the keynote speakers was Donald Trump Jr., and they were basically talking about like basically having everything on the blockchain, where
Mm.
basically it's transparent when we're sending information between each other. You know, it's a ledger. Everything is
Yeah.
transparent. You can see every single transaction versus right now, where basically it's all like in the shadows transactions and with banks and such. So you know, DeLorean Car
Yeah.
Company, created by John DeLorean for Back to the Future, the movie with the wing, you know, the car with the wing doors, I think they believe they call them, not the suicide doors, the
Oh
ones that
yeah.
opens up like a wing. Yeah, so
Mm.
DeLorean, they came out with news yesterday, the day before, I believe, that what you're gonna be able to do when you buy a DeLorean, you're gonna be able to put all the information on the blockchain. Like when you drive the car, the moment that you buy it, you purchase it, how it decreases in value with each mile you drive, the amount of mileage, and people can actually bid on it, the car, and like 24/7, how much they would pay for it on the
Mm.
blockchain. You own the car, but all the information about the car is attached to the blockchain, so you can track the value in the real world. You can see if it's gone to a mechanic shop, etc. I had a situation where
Yeah.
I bought a car from Carvana and I got into an accident and I've actually fixed the tires. And I
Mm.
found out that the tires they told me were on the car were actually the wrong tires.
Yeah.
I think that this sweet blockchain situation with DeLorean, this can open up the doors to a lot of other car companies doing the same thing, where basically you have everything that's going on with the car 24/7. You put an apparatus in the car, and every single time the car goes to the shop, mileage, winter weather, change the tires to winter tires, etc. You can actually track every single thing that happens in the blockchain. Do you think that's a really good rolled application or no? Or do you think that'd be the easiest way to get people on the blockchain?
Um, yes, it definitely has. It's something which has like potential. I did quite like that idea, like having a token for garages, because honestly, I never heard anything like
Well,
that.
in
To be honest
American
with you.
garages, right? In America, we call them garages, just so people can understand, right? We're talking about
Yeah.
garages. All right, going to
Mm.
continue. Sorry, just want to make that clear.
But no. Yeah, I do know what you mean by we do call them garages as well. So it's just obviously garages or either or mechanics in that aspect of things.
So you want
But
to have them in mechanic shops? I'm not sure. I'm not following. Why did you mention mechanic shops?
oh no, so basically, I think that's just another way of saying like we're gonna take the car to the garage. Another way of saying, um, yeah, it's just another word for mechanics. That's all it is. The garage,
Okay, because
garage,
the
and
garage.
mechanics is the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when I because you know a garage in America, what that means is like
mm,
a place where you park the car in your, you know, next to your house or somewhere around your house. There's a garage where you park the car. That's what it means. Garage
yeah,
means in the U.S.
mm.
Okay, so
But
so we have an event tomorrow in New York City at PubKey, the
okay,
Bitcoin bar, where I'm moderating, and I have two friends of mine. One's a TradFi guy, traditional finance guy. The other one is a Bitcoin guy. He's been in Bitcoin since like 2012, and he's a journalist for a bunch of private equity firms in the Bitcoin world. It's gonna be an interesting conversation because the TradFi guy hates Bitcoin. He has nothing against blockchain. He loves blockchain for healthcare, for track and trace, you know, tracking pieces of meat, vegetables, the supermarket to the farm, and etc. He likes those kind of use
mm,
cases, but he hates the idea of Bitcoin. He's like, listen, things like Bitcoin and Dogecoin provide zero value. Despite that, we have like 13 states right now in the U.S. that actually, in their local governments, have
mm,
applied for a strategic Bitcoin reserve, and the federal government is doing the same. Czech Republic did the same thing as well, even though Poland said they'll never do that because they believe it's stupid. And the president
mm,
of the EU, their banking
yeah,
aspect, I forget what it's called, the central bank of Europe, they said they're not touching it. But you have when you have 13 American states and you have like seven different countries fighting for this, you're gonna have a lot of people that are confused tomorrow because you're gonna see one guy saying buy, 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 stratify guy saying don't buy it. I don't care if President Trump is using it to pay off the U.S. national debt. I don't care if states are using it. But
Yeah.
of all these questions that somebody can ask me that I know nothing about blockchain or cryptocurrency, one thing that person asked me was this: what can I buy on Phantom Wallet? I don't know, but just so you can answer for them, I can tell them or be on the chat that you can also, because a lot of people listening incognito. What is your advice for somebody that has a Phantom Wallet and has $5?
That has like $5.
On that
Um,
Phantom Wallet, off the top of your head, you don't have to get really technical with it. Just
yeah.
a general explanation of why, what you would buy, and why. Would you spend it all? Would you spend all $5 on Peter Griffin coin, or what would you do with it?
I just obviously if you invest in something small like $5, you don't want to just do it as like experiment. So I'd say like look at like a meme coin that you enjoy having or like seeing and stuff, and then just to invest in that really. Because obviously if you're just doing a small amount, you can just do that. Or if you're really curious, you can just do $2.50 in like two different meme coins and see the comparison of how they operate. That's
Yeah,
one way to do it.
because you and I went, you got basically you and I. Remember, I had $100 or $90. No, it was $90, I believe, because I spent $20 on 4 projects and $10 on Griffin, and I lost money on two of them, but I made all the money back on like one project. I forgot which one it was, but I
Mm.
cashed it out and left the initial investment in there. So basically, I'm technically in the green. So
Yeah,
let's let's parse Ellie. You're right on point with your advice. The point to leave, even if it's $1 or if it's $100 or whatever the amount is, as long as you're making money, you're in the green. You're good to go.
yeah.
Okay, so
So I'd
so
say in that sense, then similar to the advice that I gave before, yeah. Whether it's $10, 100, or even 1,000, you still want to diversify into at least three different tokens or four at the most, um, and then obviously you have to sort of see how it rides out. But obviously, it's one of those that you have to always do research on. But if you know like how to identify like scam tokens, then it makes it a little bit more easier. Like especially when you know how much holders are within that project.
we've talked about this before. We don't have to repeat ourselves too much, right?
Mm.
If they want, they can look back on other
Exactly.
videos.
Yeah.
They can also ask me in person. They can DM me. I don't really care. But listen, what are the last few things you want to say? Because we got to get going. I have to hop on a podcast, Crypto Gang Beefs, and then after that, I have
Yeah.
my space at 8:30. And by the way, it's my first time hosting a space. We're doing this rotation thing where every Friday we have somebody else in the community host a space on their account. So today's my day.
Oh, okay.
Lucky me.
Yeah.
That
So,
means I have to stay up.
what's the? I see.
What, bud?
And what's happening tomorrow then that you said? This
Oh,
conferencing?
yeah, we're going to New York City. We'll talk about that next week. But people are
Yeah.
losing faith. Give us some inspirational words, Sully style, of what you want people to think about going into the next week and the next few weeks.
Um. Yeah, that's a good point actually. I mean, I'd always say if you truly believe in anything, whether it's meme coins or whether it's any other like projects in general, if you truly believe in it, like don't let the drop down, the dips, like discourage you from wanting to believe in that project. If you find that the projects that you've believed in is stopped working as well, then it just means that you just need to look at other opportunities because the way I see it is like when one door closes, another one opens, and that's the same thing with the crypto space. There's just so many opportunities out there, and there's more now than there's been ever in the history of the cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, and I want to say something else. Believe in something because remember, we live in a world. You understand. You can understand this as a British person, where despite the fact that Messi has actually won a World Cup, there are people out there that still believe Ronaldo's better.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not gonna even- and so if you are dumb enough to believe that, then you can be dumb
Mm,
enough to believe anything. That being said, brother, I'll talk to you next week. Stay in touch with tomorrow, right? And if you want to get on the space tonight, you're more than welcome to. If you happen to wake up in the middle of the night and have nothing else to do, all right?
yeah. No, that's fine then.
All right,
Yeah. See you later.
all right, brother. Upwards and onwards.